So back in the day when you couldn't quite buy a politician, first of all, there were no billionaires in America. In fact, there were no millionaires in the United States. The first millionaire came along in the 1790s in today's dollars. And a million ain't that much in today's dollars, right? I mean, there's people who are millionaires just, based on the value of their homes and whatnot, but particularly in some of our big cities. But the point is that Mr. Jefferson... This is Alexander Hamilton. Now, today's President's Day. I realize Hamilton was never a president, but he certainly was influential. The old cliche, and it's absolutely true, is that we all run around quoting Jefferson, but we live in Hamilton's country. That Hamilton had this vision for America. And Hamilton was the Secretary of the Treasury. Jefferson was the Secretary of State in the George Washington administration. Washington being the fourth president of the United States, the first to operate under the Constitution. So, arguably the first of the new United States. And Hamilton had this idea of this empire, basically, this dynastic, manufacturing-based empire that used manufacturing and finance to build a great nation. And Jefferson thought that that was a dangerous road for us to go down. Now, he changed his mind once he became president in 1800, but this was back 4 years earlier, 6 years earlier, 8 years earlier, and, 7 years when these correspondences happened. When he and Hamilton were such enemies in the cabinet. And I just have to share some of that. I spent probably most of Saturday, 4 or 5 hours Saturday, reading these letters of Alexander Hamilton's to various people. I was, I'm working on a book right now, and I was looking for stuff that had to do with debt and trade. But I found these incredible little pieces. Hamilton is writing. This is a letter to Colonel Edward Carrington, who was a personal friend of Hamilton's. It's dated May 26, 1792. So this was the second year. Let's see, the George Washington administration. This was the third year. No. Well, whatever. Anyhow, 1792. And he says, Mr. Jefferson, with very little reserve, manifests his dislike of the funding system generally, calling into question the expediency of funding a debt at all. Jefferson would have been what today we call a modern monetary theorist. Some expressions, back to Hamilton, some expressions which he has dropped in my presence, parenthesis, sometimes without sufficient attention to delicacy, close parenthesis, will not permit me to doubt on this point representations which I have had from various respectable quarters. In other words, Jefferson's trash-talking him not only to himself, but to other people. He says, in various conversations with foreigners as well as citizens, he has thrown censure on my principles of government and on my measures of administration. He did it in a style and manner which I felt as partaking of asperity and ill humor toward me. When any turn of things in the community has threatened either odium or embarrassment to me, he has not been able to suppress the satisfaction which it gave him. Hamilton's really PO'd with Jefferson because, they had this battle. And it was a battle, by the way, that Hamilton ultimately won. He says, in respect to foreign politics, the views of these gentlemen. Now he's talking about Jefferson and his protege, James Madison. In respect to foreign politics, who was also in the cabinet, he says, in respect to foreign politics, the views of these gentlemen are, in my judgment, equally unsound and dangerous. They have a womanish attachment to France and a womanish resentment against Great Britain. See, Hamilton himself did not have a problem with stooping to slapping him around. He says, Mr. Jefferson in France saw government only in the sight of its abuses. He drank freely of the French philosophy and religion, science, and politics. He came from France in the moment of a fermentation. He's talking about leading up to the French Revolution, which he had a share in exciting. And he came here probably with too partial an idea of his own powers. He came electrified with attachment to France. And then he shifts to Mr. Madison, who he's also PO'd with. He says, Mr. Madison had always entertained an exalted opinion of the talents, knowledge, and virtues of Mr. Jefferson. The sentiment was probably reciprocal. A close correspondence subsisted between them during the time of Mr. Jefferson's absence from the country. A close intimacy arose upon his return. Mr. Jefferson was indiscreetly open in his approbation of Mr. Madison's principles. I say indiscreetly because a gentleman in the administration... Now, he's talking... See, these guys, they're all in the cabinet. He says, I say indiscreetly because a gentleman in the administration in one department ought not to have taken sides against another in another department. The course of this business begot some degree of ill humor in Mr. Jefferson. I was aware of a systematic opposition to me on the part of these gentlemen. My subversion, I am now satisfied, has been long an object with them. I have feelings of personal mortification. So what was it he was mortified about? Well, it had to do with, in this case, this particular rant. Just a few months later, August 18th, 1792, he wrote a letter to George Washington about this. And it was about the national debt. And it starts out, Objection 1. And so he's quoting his opponents. The public debt is greater than we can possibly pay before other causes of adding to it will occur, and this has been artificially created by adding together the whole amount of the debtor and creditor sides of the accounts. Answer. The public debt was produced by the late war. Whether it is greater than can be paid before new causes of adding to it will occur is a problem incapable of being solved but by experience. Now, I will explain what Hamilton was talking about, why the debt was a big deal at the founding of this country, why, frankly, I think it's not a big deal right now. In fact, Hamilton at that time, he said, the debt of the United States compared with its present and growing abilities is really a very light one. At a little more than 15 million pounds sterling, about the annual expenditure of Great Britain. In other words, the debt of the United States was equal to the entire GDP of Great Britain, which was massively larger than the United States. And Hamilton says, oh, that's not so much debt. We can handle that.